This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. Tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see, obviously, I'm on the road as usual, but, you know, I've dedicated myself to making sure that I get it done. You know what I mean? So please let me know if you can hear me clearly. I've tried to upgrade some of my equipment to make sure that when I'm on the road, I try to get the same quality as when I'm at home, but I accidentally left my camera at home, so here, I was just using my laptop camera. But anyway, the Knicks win a tight contest over the Charlotte Hornets this afternoon in Charlotte. And ladies and gentlemen, it was way tighter. I mean, the game was back and forth. The entire game was back and forth. The Knicks, you know, had to scrape this one out. And as a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the basketball bumping around the rim, you know, there may have been a few more seconds left for Charlotte to try to make another move. But the Knicks pull out a group win over the Charlotte Hornets. And to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run down the box score, but I have one big takeaway. That big takeaway is Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride is the biggest takeaway for me from this basketball game. But let me go down the box score for those who may not know or be aware of the game. I'm pretty sure you probably already have, but the Knicks were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson, 31 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Josh Hart, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Deuce McBride, ladies and gentlemen, 14 points off the bench for Deuce. Mikal Bridges, 8 points tonight. He was a negative 14 when you look at the plus-minus situation. The Knicks, I mean, they shot the ball fairly well for the most part tonight. You know, 44%. I guess maybe I shouldn't say fairly well. They shot the ball okay. 37% from the three-point line. Charlotte Hornets, 40% from the field. 31.9% from the three-point line for the Hornets. The Knicks had 19 turnovers tonight, though. Or this afternoon. 19 turnovers this afternoon for the Knicks. I don't know if it was the noon start or what, but turnovers abound for the Knicks versus the Hornets. Turnovers abound, and you know, it hasn't been the Knicks. They've been a low turnover team throughout the season. I think early in the season, maybe they were turning the ball over a little bit. But, you know, the past few weeks, they've been a low turnover team. Today was a low scoring game. 99 to 98. You can say the Knicks held the Hornets to 98 points, but really the Hornets just didn't shoot the ball too well. 40% from the field, 31.9% from the three-point line. And the Knicks didn't really play that good of a basketball game today either. You know, and after Thanksgiving game, I guess that's what we'll say, an after Thanksgiving game. But anyway, the biggest takeaway for me, though, is Deuce. Deuce McBride played 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. 12 minutes in the fourth quarter for Deuce McBride. He was the second leading scorer. Well, tied for second in the score column in the fourth quarter. He had 5 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound in the fourth quarter. Karl Anthony Towns had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block in the fourth quarter. Of course, Jalen Brunson had 11 points. But Deuce, ladies and gentlemen, played 12 minutes. Mikal Bridges played 3 minutes and 45 seconds in the fourth quarter. And down the stretch, ladies and gentlemen, it was Deuce the game. You had Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby. The Knicks paid a price for Mikal Bridges. No doubt about it. They paid a price for Mikal Bridges. But he's not playing good enough to be playing down the stretch right now. At least in the eyes of Tom Thibodeau. And yeah, Deuce hit some big shots. Played big defensively. Like Tim is saying right here. Deuce played big shots. Hit big shots. Played big defensively. He did. And that's the reason why he was in the game down the stretch. Kevin said Deuce is playing better than Bridges in terms of impact. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Deuce is playing big minutes for the Knicks. He has a big impact for the Knicks. He has a big role for the Knicks. And defensively, I mean, he's better than Bridges. Not too much you can really say about it. He's better than Bridges right now defensively. Even though he's smaller. I mean, Deuce is what? 6'1", 6'2"? Bridges? 6'6"? Yeah, Deuce McBride, 6'1". You know, Bridges like 6'6", has longer arms, so on and so forth, but Deuce plays with intensity. He just has a battery that doesn't stop. He's able to dip and dodge over and through screens. You know, I can't say enough about what Deuce McBride is doing for the Knicks. And I don't want to say I feel bad for Mikal Bridges, but Mikal Bridges is definitely catching it right now from Knicks fans. You know, not as bad as it could be, but I think there's a lot of fans that are definitely concerned about Bridges and the impact that he is having on this basketball team. And people probably wondering what's he worth, what the Knicks paid for Mikal Bridges. I will say this. When you talk about the price that the Knicks paid for Bridges, right? We talk about first round picks, right? The Knicks gave up a lot of first round picks for Bridges, obviously players, so on and so forth. You know the trade package. Bridges, though, I mean, the draft picks, though, maybe aren't as valuable to the Knicks, those first round picks. Maybe they're not as valuable to the Knicks, or maybe they're just not as valuable at all around the league when we talk about those first round picks, right? You know, we talk about the amount of picks the Knicks gave up for Bridges. People say, oh, he gave up that. I was talking to State a couple weeks ago on his show, State of the Knicks podcast. And I said, well, you know, those first round picks may not be as valuable because you can find, I mean, Brunson's second round pick, Deuce McBride second round pick, Mitchell Robinson second round pick, right? Jericho Sims second round pick. The Knicks have a number of players in their rotation who are second round picks. And it's happening across the league, right? You know, players are able to come into the league through different ways nowadays. You know, and so it maybe takes a little bit away from those first round picks. So maybe, you know, those first round picks aren't as valuable as we would have looked at, you know, 10 years ago. But still, the Knicks gave up a lot for Mikal Bridges. There's no doubt about it. And I think you have to start wondering, are the Knicks worried about Mikal? I keep saying I'm not worried, but as things go on and time goes on and we start to see things happening, I start to ask the question about Mikal. And now you see Deuce play down the stretch. Major minutes down the stretch. 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. I mean, you couldn't take Deuce out the game because of his defensive activity. Right? And obviously he was having a good basketball game. You know, 14 points tonight for the New York Knicks. Deuce had, he shot 55% from the field. He shot 40% from the three-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Deuce continues to shoot well, though. It's not like he only did it tonight. He continues to shoot well throughout the season. And if he continues to play this way, he will take Mikal Bridges' fourth quarter minutes. There's no doubt in my mind that he will. I said in the beginning of the season, I thought this was a chance for Deuce to, get his points per game average up to 14 or 15. I think it's possible. Put himself in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. Put himself in the running for the most improved player of the year. And he's doing that. He's shooting 45.8% from the field this season. He's shooting 38.6% from the three-point line. The three-point shooting is a little bit down from last year, but he's also taking 5 attempts this year, where he was only taking 3.9 attempts last year. Deuce is averaging 25.7 minutes per game this year as well, and his shooting is still good and efficient. Can't say enough about Deuce and what he's doing for this basketball team, and I think he's going to be pivotal throughout the entire season. He's going to be pivotal if the Knicks want to be where we think they can be or think they should be, right? Deuce is going to be pivotal, ladies and gentlemen. Tim. So we should be patient with Bridges. His game will come. I'd rather him have his struggles now, so when the playoffs come, he'll be clicking on all cylinders. I do agree with you. I agree. You have to be a little bit patient with him. It's a new system for him. Again, in my opinion, Mikal Bridges is a system player, right? You're not counting on Mikal Bridges to be your creator. He's a system player, one of my proofs of a system player, and you may have seen this on Knicks and Bruises and State of the Knicks podcast when we talked about it, is a player that does not get to the line, in my opinion, is a system player. Because they don't create. See, when you create, you put pressure on the defense and then they foul you. When you're a system player, somebody else creates, puts pressure on the defense, and then they kick it out to you. And you get an open jump shot, or you attack the closeout, cut to the basket, those type of things. All right, but Mikal Bridges is averaging less than one free throw attempt per game so far this season. He's a system player. Deuce is a little bit less of a system player than Bridges, to be honest with you. I think he can attack better than Bridges. I think that he has more of a attacker's mentality than Bridges. Bridges kind of has a system mentality. Let's see, how things flow for the remainder of this season, though. Right? Heem Dream said, agree, not worried about Mikal, but don't like watching him get burned so much. But does that concern you, though, Heem Dream? Does it concern you that he's getting burned? Because he was brought here to play defense. He was brought here to be a defensive stopper. He was brought here to improve the defense, and the Knicks' defense has not improved this season. Now, obviously, there's been other changes, right? No Julius Randle, no Dante DiVincenzo. You have Karl Anthony Towns. You have Mikal Bridges. Things are kind of new. They're trying to figure that out, right? But does that concern you? JJ47K said, I'm worried. Let me ask you this in the chat. And you can call in 516-362-5212. Again, it's a short show. I'm with the family, holiday time, and those things. But does it concern you? No, not does it concern you. If Mikal Bridges cannot perform at the level that we expected consistently, how much does it impact the Knicks' ability to contend in the Eastern Conference? I'm going to say it impacts it significantly, right? Because he his role is supposed to be large for this basketball team. He's supposed to be that third or fourth scorer out there, that third or fourth threat out there on the floor. The Knicks were supposed to have a team full of threats. Obviously, the trade changed it just a little bit, but you still got Bridges, OG, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns. Like, all of those guys can be a threat. And Bridges is kind of up and down right now. He was supposed to be a defensive stopper. If he's not playing his role the way that we expected him to, I think it definitely makes it difficult for the Knicks to contend in the Eastern Conference. But for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, my biggest takeaway is Deuce. Deuce playing in the clutch. Deuce playing down the stretch. 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. His fourth quarter production for this team. In a game that was defensive, in a game that was low scoring. 5 points in the fourth quarter for Deuce, to me, is huge. Karl Anthony Towns had 5 points in the fourth quarter. That's huge for Deuce. That's huge for the Knicks. It says something about Bridges right now. It does. It says something about Bridges. The concern continues to grow for Knicks fans. It's continuing to grow. I do like to point out Campaign as well, though. Campaign has been, a nice bench player for the Knicks. Hit it big shot today. He's been able to play some defense. He's definitely playing his role. It's a big shout out to Campaign. I enjoy what Campaign is doing right now for the Knicks. Definitely enjoy that. But again, ladies and gentlemen, Deuce McBride, big minutes for the Knicks. Third leading scorer today. Played in the fourth quarter, played down the stretch over Mikal Bridges. Bridges just 8 points. He was a negative 14 in the plus minus today. And as a matter of fact, there were only two players, ladies and gentlemen, who were in the negative in the plus minus. That was Mikal Bridges and Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims was a -1. Mikal Bridges a -14. Everybody else was on the plus side. And I normally don't pay attention to the plus minus because, you can have different lineups out there on the floor. So different things happen when you have different lineups on the floor. But when you have everybody's in the positive and then just one or two players are in the negative, or vice versa, I think that does tell a story. Anyway, Deuce McBride, ladies and gentlemen. Deuce McBride, big shout out to Deuce. I love everything that he's doing. I apologize that my camera is choppy. Hopefully the audio sounds good. But I'm gonna head out of here so I can get back, enjoy the family. Hopefully you're enjoying your family. Hopefully you had a happy Thanksgiving. I will see you again this weekend, even if it's just a short 20-minute show like today, to talk about a certain topic. But I appreciate you guys' time. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend, and I will see you very soon. Deuce McBride, ladies and gentlemen. Be peaceful. I'm out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.